But now, all those along the line, during governance, when governance became at least more, secured, people did not really take a look, just turned their faces to the armed robbery and all those sagas. That sagas, let me just say it in quotes. And those scenarios also came down. Now it came to kidnappings, that is from the Niger Delta area. Then they were agitating for some particular issues, some particular points. Later, it became Boko Haram. Later, other farmers, others killing farmers, in their farms. Later, now we're talking about bandits, talking about even the armed robbery cases are so minimal now. Okay, some options are being given. People are saying yes to make sure that this ends, because it started then during the Niger Delta area when people were kidnapped and there were dialogues and all those things. Some people laid down their arms and all those. Then I know the group captain will be remembering what I'm talking about. Now, people are saying these bandits, others, terrorists, I will not call them all those names. I'll call them criminals. All of them are criminals, yes, that they should be dialogued with so that peace can reign. Well, it might have its positive effects, but at the end of the day, it will have its negative effect more than the positive effects. Yes, I am telling you. And well, bandits, others, terrorists, armed robbers, burglars, kidnappers, they are all criminals, yes. And well, let me just go through some highlights of what we will be discussing today. Insecurity. Is dialogue with bandits the panacea? Yes, people are saying yes, dialogue with bandits, dialogue with criminals, dialogue with, I don't understand. How can you dialogue with criminals? I'll just tag them as criminals, not bandits, others are not criminals. They are pure criminals. You would sit down, be negotiating with them, and be giving them good attention. All those people that you are supposed to be giving attention, that is the government side, you will not. And you'll be giving them good money, good cash, so they can lay down their arms. Well, we are going to be discussing about this, and yes, my legal practitioner is here. Yes, and he was a retired intelligence officer, Fatai Akinsomi, Esquire. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you, the anchorman.
Yes, you are late today.
Yes, some purpose blocked my purpose when I was coming.
Okay.
So it took me time to bring.
So I wanted to say I will find you.
Thank you.
So yes, let's go straight to the program. We were talking about what we want to delve into today is dialogue. Insecurity. Is dialogue the panacea? Yes, it's dialogue the panacea. I'm just briefing you now. I want to just go through some points here. Yes, while some argue that negotiations can bring temporary relief, others claim that it emboldens armed groups and perpetuates impunity. Well, that is some views there. And here are some key points to consider in this issue. And it says, ineffective in the long run. Previous attempts at dialogue have failed to produce lasting peace, with bandits often returning to their activities after negotiations. Yes, we've seen that it has happened in the past. And now, it encourages criminality. Yes, more criminality. And it says, paying or negotiating with bandits can create a culture of extortion and encourage others to engage in similar activities. And, well, it undermines government authority, and it says dialogue with bandits can be seen as a sign of weakness undermining the government's capability to protect its citizens. Yes, and arguments for dialogue. There have been so many arguments for this dialogue issue, and some believe that dialogue can be a useful tool in resolving conflicts, especially when combined with other security measures. And while addressing grievances, dialogue may provide an opportunity to address the underlying grievances and issues that drive individuals to join bandit groups. I will not call them bandit groups. I'll say criminal groups. Yes, and on conditional negotiations, some propose that conditional, transparent, and closely monitored negotiations could be a viable approach. And yes, with that, there are some challenges. Yes, challenges and considerations. I'm talking about how to, tackle this issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And bandit groups often lack a clear chain of command, making it difficult to negotiate with a single representative. And implementation, yes, that's the implementation. Previous agreements have been poorly implemented, leading to a lack of trust and further violence. A need for a comprehensive approach, and any solution will likely require a combination of security measures, economic development, and social support. Well, it goes on and on. And yes, like I said, Group Captain Oladile Olazope, retired security consultant, is in the house, and also Fatai Akasom Esquire, legal practitioner and retired intelligence officer. Yes, they are here, and we'll trash this out this afternoon. Yes, Group Captain, who is a bandit?
A bandit is simply an outlaw, somebody who take up arms to subdue the society or the populace for extortion. Sometimes you will agree with me that it is more prevalent in the northern part.
Yes.
And we have to question, because we were not like this before. We never had bandits before. How did they come in? Who brought them in? Who are their sponsors? Somebody, Alhaji Kahuba Raye, has voiced that they brought them in from Mali, Senegal, Niger, to do what? Why will you bring people that will come and hinder peace? These are supposed to be elders, elites in the north. Why will you bring them? It is not today. They have been saying, especially when President Obasanjo was emerging as the president, and the opponents said they will bring people to create chaos and make the country ungovernable. Baba Obasanjo, in his characteristic nature, called the emirs and said, warn your children. I have been to the house of death and have come back alive. He came from prison to be president. You say, if any one of them should cross me, I will deal with them and I will not listen to you. Tell them. You see, they watch the body language of the president, and all of them kept quiet. Now, it got to Yaradua. Yaradua had to tackle the Niger Delta crisis that time, and it subsides. From there, you have Tompolo and the rest. Boy Loaf. Yes. This one always talking about this fat boy. Asari Dokubo. Yes. And from the dialogue, some even submitted their weapons. It subsides. But now, all of a sudden, we had Boko Haram. What were they calling for? Meaning of Boko Haram is that Western education is evil, is forbidden. And we heard that they said they were promised a particular area of the country to be governing themselves. And now that they have not heeded to the promise, they started. But when you make this concession to people, and you are supposed to be a statesman, what do you expect? I don't want to particularize regional something, but there is no how we will mention it, because there's no Boko Haram in the south. Who had that dialogue with them? One of my seniors captured the founder of Boko Haram, handed him over to the police. Suddenly, the man ended up dead. Fabulous amount discovered in his account. How did he get it? You see, when you want to subsume security into politics, it becomes bad. It becomes bad. We are still dealing with that now. That we have not finished that. All of a sudden, banditry, and somebody says they brought them. The people who brought them in, they are still operating. Nobody has touched them.
But let me ask you this. Talking about this negotiation now, between dialogue,
yeah.
Sheikh Gumi, how does he know where these people are? And he goes ahead and negotiates on behalf of the Nigerian government.
You see, when you allow religion to becloud a populace, somebody will just turn himself to what he's not. I've said in some security interview that even on his father, Sheikh Gumi, I wrote security report on him as a young officer. But this Gumi is supposed to be educated. Said he read medicine. How come somebody who read medicine now gets involved in such things? Are they really preaching to the bandits to desist from what they are doing? You cannot tell somebody who has never handled 100,000 in his life and went into banditry and goes into banditry and is now handling millions. To tell such a person to stop will be a mirage. It will be a mirage. And you see, we have to address this thing kinetically and non-kinetically, just as you said. The kinetic aspect is to engage them in arms. The non-kinetic is social development. You will agree with me that there was a time they say these nomadic schools, they will be building nomadic schools. How has it been successful? First of all, you need to work on their orientation. And when you work on these are people of loose families, loose and unorganized families. It is utterly un-Islamic that somebody will give back to a child and you will hand over the child to an Islamic cleric to be feeding, to be teaching Quran and all sorts of things. Removing your responsibility. It's utterly not Islamic.
Yes.
So it is the failure of the Al-Majiri system that is fueling the thing. Because where is the work for them? You cannot tell me you have somebody who, when he goes to work, he will bring 20,000 home, 20,000 naira home, and somebody will call him to come and go and fight. And he will now leave the same and go and fight. First of all, what will he gain from that? These bandits and these kidnappers, they don't look like millionaires now. So the millions being paid to them is being given to their sponsors. Many are marginalized out of political powers now. 2007 is coming. They don't have much in their hands to contest election. All of a sudden, you kidnap people, you say they should bring millions. How did it get that? Firstly, the police, the armed forces, the DSS, civil defense. Okay, Amotekun on our side, they are too few for the job. Just too few for the job. Now, okay, police is the first line of defense. All other Amotekun, DSSC, they are complementary. They must work together. But this Amotekun that could have now become the village primary security outfit, how armed are they? Are they properly? I saw them with funny guns like that. Then guns.
Not quite funny. They have a pump action
With pump action, you cannot match pump action against somebody that carries AK-47.
Yes, I understand. At least they are.
You are sending him to his death. You are sending him. You agree with me, sir? You are sending him to his death. You don't recruit our boys just to go and die or stay there. But the issue is that, thank God that there was even such an initiative from Baba Akeredolu, Governor Makinde, and our fathers are forward-looking. Thank God there is an initiative like that. And you imagine the reaction to such an initiative. Hey, the West want to secede, though. Don't give them this and that, this and that. Somebody wants to do something to protect everybody in his region. And you are feeling so concerned. Meanwhile, your own region is unprotected.
Feeling so uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. IPOB has taken over. ESN have taken over. Bandits have taken over. Boko Haram have taken over. And you are saying we are still the most peaceful region.
Yes, sir. All those that you have mentioned,
yes.
Just call them criminals.
Criminals.
Fatai Akisomi, that's why I told you, I didn't put Mr. or Tumba.
Just anyhow, just Fatai Akisomi.
This dialogue issue with bandits, yes, criminals. Is it the panacea, all these criminalities to come down? I know, and I know Nigeria cannot be matched with the United States of America. Yes, it cannot. America never dialogue with terrorists. Never. So they will go all out to get them. You know, I'm sure you know.
I know the position is not correct, but I know.
Yes, the question is not correct. That's what I'm saying. But they will not. Even Israel, they will not negotiate with any terrorists. So is it the panacea here in Nigeria?
Well, let me first start from the general words that you will call them criminal. Yes. By the time you call them criminals, you are generalizing the discussions. Because criminals are in multi-faces, multi-dimensional. And in these discussions, you want to particularize it. Particularizing is not bringing it bandit. So we cannot, for the purpose of this discussion, say criminal. So they are bandits. Though they are a form of terrorism, and they are called different names depending on their locations and the modus of operations, the modus of operandi. Now, they are criminals, but while discussing it, that's where I'm going. We are not discussing the issue of armed robbery. You get what I'm saying? Another something. So that's why we say we should particularize this and limit it to the banditries. Yes. Now, let me put one option. You said America will negotiate. America has at one time or the other negotiated. I can remember during the reign of Barack Obama, when one American was in the net of the Taliban. And America has about 4 or 5 Talibans. That's during Barack Obama. And Barack Obama negotiated with the Taliban. They removed that sergeant, decided something, I've forgotten the name.
But they did it under
I'm coming.
The full glare of the...
No, this is what I'm saying is the key word is that they negotiate. So where I'm going is that there is nothing bad in negotiation. As a matter of fact, our laws as of today do criminalize terrorism. Right? And there's laws on how to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's no law that says you can negotiate or you cannot negotiate. You know what I'm saying? It depends on who is at the helm of affairs will determine which pattern can I approach to have, because one of the first major responsibilities of a reasonable government is securities of life and property.
Yes, we'll take this time out. We'll be back.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course na, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Yes, sir. From a square. Yes.
Yes, I said no, where the law provides for the terrorism act provides for how to prevent it and criminalize it. There are so much provisions of methods of persons at the helm of the affairs. And dialogue solves it is that all patterns of dialogue. Well, no one to my brother has done background in respect of metamorphosing of these forces from Boko Haram to banditry to this to Asar, all those names. I'm limiting it to the north. And so I will not do that. It's not necessary for me to delve into this again. But the basic thing is that the problem with Nigerians is that the method of our negotiating is as good, and we make a reasonable person assume that those persons who are negotiating are also part of them. Because one, if somebody's family is a victim, and the government say don't negotiate, you will be looking at the government as mad because what are you talking? Because this is our home. We don't have any other person. Let us, we are ready to do anything. If we need to sell the house, they are saying, because they want him to come back alive. So there's no preach. You can tell those people that, no, we are not negotiating. You hear what I'm saying? But at the same time, the pattern, especially in the past years, shows that those who are engaged in this banditry act, the terrorist act, are more or less having upper hand, and they are dictating the pace of the negotiation. I have never seen a situation where you will negotiate. You say, okay, they will say, you know, we are dropping our arms. Yeah, normally, if there's something, there's what they call radicalizations. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation,
and they give them preferential
it's
treatment.
not more than preferential treatment. They even recruit them into sensitive organization and to make the world's worst security organizations.
Yes, like we all know.
You see what I'm saying? So, and see a situation where the person that these people feel is the breadwinner of the family, and they still see him riding push car with escorts. How do you want that person to think? So the problem is that in the past, the previous government, because society is just more or less encouraging people. When they say Boko Haram is a sin, the interpretation. Yes, at times we look at the messenger because of the patterns of their operation, but we lose the message. Somebody who read Islamic studies is in oil company, doing fine. You know what I mean? He's in CBN, he's in NDIC. Somebody who read petroleum and petroleum engineer
Cannot get into
NNPC. Somebody read banker finance and economics, others cannot find himself in CBN. Then what is the sense of that education? That's why at times you say, this is fraud. And so I will blame the previous government and the patterns of their negotiation. However, like I said in America, the other time Barack Obama said, if you negotiate at times for exchange of what's those fugitives? No, it's not war criminals. Those that have been captured in the war front.
Yes.
You hear what I'm
war
saying?
criminals.
No, they may not be called that war criminal, depending on the side you are. You hear what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that if you can exchange, you get what I'm saying? To bring relief to the family of those who have taken, and at the same time, you must have gotten enough formation that will help you to monitor them within almost constantly. So my submission is that there is nothing bad in negotiation. You don't need to criminalize negotiations. But in Nigeria, the patterns of negotiations give impressions to those of us who are looking at them from the rear that those who are even negotiating are even part of them. And let me draw the example of Gumi. When this present government came up with negotiation, Gumi was the first to say that if you don't negotiate, it's also good to negotiate. Yoruba will say that somebody is eating fat from a rotten system. We want that rotten system to continue. So personally, I support that. There is no need for negotiation. We have machinery to monitor them. The other time, the chief of staff who said that if we shoot missiles, by a drone, it's almost 150 million
drones, yes.
per one.
Drone.
So what? But at the same time, no amount is too much to arrest this situation, bad situations we are. I think it can be named in the number. The other time I saw the whole world, the international community are moving. I said one this what is called China's president address to the United Nations.
Displaying
his arsenal. Very powerful one.
Yes.
So unfortunately, as of today, Nigerian government is they have good diplomatic relations, very sound one with France and China. So I think we just appeal to the present government to use every connection within this power to make sure that they need these the various activities quickly and timely.
Yes, Group Captain, we were mentioning Gumi. Gumi is negotiating with the terrorists. He knows where they are. Who is he negotiating on behalf? Is it the federal government or himself or on the families of those that have been kidnapped who. And he knows where they are, he knows their locations. Why the federal government, through the Nigerian military, arrest, prosecute all those criminals like I always say?
First of all, it is not only Gumi that knows them.
Yes.
Gumi only come to the open, but is working on behalf of a particular cabal. Like I said, this issue cannot be treated without arresting the sponsors. Yes. And government come, they will tell you they know the sponsors.
They know
what have they done? Gumi, particularly, has he told the bandits that what they are doing is bad? Or you encourage them to do it, then I'll collect money from somebody, I'll come and hand it over to you. That is better. Is he going alone? I've seen pictures of former Speaker of House of Rep, who was the former governor of Katsina State, Masari, Alhaji Masari, giving these bandits money and taking pictures with them.
Even in Safara, they gave them.
Yes.
He was giving chief judge statue.
Yes.
And he was stubborn.
Yes, he was stubborn.
In the capital.
So if they are gaining, if they are benefiting from it, you don't expect them to stop. You don't expect them to stop.
Let me just put it. Mama Yusuf that started the issue of Boko Haram.
Mohammed Yusuf.
It was more or less political movement that time. We have done our own job, repay us by giving us appointments. When it was not forthcoming, they now formed that the deadly group.
But it was not the
After some time, religious groups come on board. After sometimes, the criminal who were doing armed robbery and other things, they now saw that this kidnapping, because you have to do illegal kidnap people to get money to fund the movement, that kidnapping is more profitable than armed robbery. They now draw the issue of armed robbery, and now everybody is now a terrorist. Because it is more lucrative, more. So, what I'm saying in essence is that, unfortunately, when the arms they were using at that particular time were traced, they saw that many of those arms and ammunition comes from Libya.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they just topple Gaddafi, and the center cannot hold. And Gaddafi has gotten enough arms and ammunition within his vicinity that can use all those ammunition now moves to Nigeria. So, another Nigerian to be specific. So, the people, many people in government, some governors, some House of Rep, some senators, and we must not lose sight of this swap, these foreign connections too, who don't want to see that Nigeria is at peace. It's an opportunity for them to penetrate the system and destabilize the country.
But do you see this, the dialogue? Yes. Do you see it as can it serve as a, sustainable path to peace in Nigeria concerning them, especially the northwest and north central?
You see, we want a quick solution to it. It doesn't just happen like that. It will take time. It will take time. Okay, whether we like it or not, they're already dialoguing. But what other comprehensive plans do we have? They're already dialoguing, but has it been fruitful? The issue is that as you are dialoguing, you must be monitoring their enclaves, so that when the dialogue fails, you go for them. You go for them, and like I said, issues cannot be treated in isolations like that. You cannot be dialoguing with bandits because they are brandishing weapons, they are brandishing bandolier, and leave their backyard sponsors. whether political or otherwise.
Are they not insiders inside the military? Inside the military?
Of course. How did the insiders get inside the military? I don't know. There was a time they said repentant Boko Haram should join the military. Whether they did that or not, all of us we have seen people in the military selling weapons now.
Yes.
Trafficking weapons. One young boy was rounded up.
Yes.
And he said he has sold over 400.
Yes.
And he will even be escorted by soldiers.
Yes.
People look for money with reckless abandon. But the good thing about the military, the moment they are rounded up, let me say justice. Whether military or justice is justice.
Yes.
That weapon you are trading off is entrusted with you by the people of Nigeria to defend them. Once you start doing otherwise, then you have traded your sanity for money. And definitely we have military law now.
Yes.
And military law is to exert discipline fast. So we don't joke. We have military court martials. We have field court martial. Field court martial is that if you are rounded up in the field, trading arms like that or giving secrets to the enemy, there and then you'll be tried and you'll be shot. So such a thing we make others to desist from such, but do we really follow them? Do we really follow them? If we have to dialogue with bandits, it's tantamount to surrender. Because you cannot dialogue from a very weak point. After God, it is government.
Yes.
Government is so powerful. But the issue now, all the agencies put together, they are too few for the job. North, there is space in the north. There's no space. Look at the picture of Ibadan now. Where is the space to operate for any bandit? Quickly, they rounded up.
Absolutely.
But there are
But in the
suburbs.
north,
There are suburbs in Ibadan.
Suburbs, of course.
What is
They are not even as lucrative as where the people are clustered. But in the north, look, from Zaria to Kaduna, from Kaduna to Jaji, it's far enough space for anybody to operate. Kaduna to southern Kaduna, vast land. And you don't do how many attack helicopters we even have. If we monitor with drones, and we see them committing out there must be fast deployment to attack. But
they too have anti-aircraft equipment.
of course,
it has been supplied to them by this point now. That's what I'm saying.
The gentleman mentioned Libya. It's not only Libya.
It's absolutely.
Iraq. When Saddam was
eliminated.
It was eliminated.
In the name of
these things, they are selling them like bread in the Basharu market. So and our security agencies, have we been tracking the inflow? Because the immigration has their job, the custom has their job, the infantry. How has the borders been policed? But just like I said, all the agencies put together needs to be tripled or quadrupled because of the landmass of Nigeria.
Because I remember a time when one military formation, they were called upon to come and rescue some people in one area, North Central, the adjoining areas. They claimed that they could not go because the terrain was not good enough for them to enter.
That is a very funny excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is a very funny excuse. In the military, you yield to nothing. You are supposed to operate in all terrain. All the way you use the if you cannot enter, then the Air Force will bombard that area, soften the ground for the infantry to go in. So you see, the thing is that some people, when some of us join this job, we join this job to be using the uniform to be doing crack. Now duty calls. You just have to perform. If you cannot perform, well, I was chief training officer in just service wing NDA. We were training medical doctors, lawyers, reverend imams and co. We gave them combat training. And I told them, don't tell me because you are an imam. They will take you to Liberia and they kill the combatant officer and you take over commando. Say you bloody well must perform. And it happened like that. They performed. They came back to tell me.
Yes, Barrister, from a legal standpoint, would engaging bandits through dialogue conflict with the Constitution and the rule of law? How does the justice system, reconcile peace talks with prosecuting criminal acts?
I said it initially. Legally, there are provisions that criminalize terrorism.
Yes,
there are provisions that it is the responsibility of government to prevent it also. And there is also constitutional provisions that the first responsibility of reasonable government is security of life and property. Which method you are going to use is not specified that you must use this negotiation, you must use this part of the that now is government policy. You get what I'm saying? Which vary, and you will see it during Buhari regime, say continue to dialogue. After dialogue, they forgive them. After forgiving them, they bring them back to the society. They even give them employment. They send some outside the country to say they will go and land job. It has not achieved any meaningful results. This present government now said, no, we are not going to dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And if they are going to dialogue, the bandits must have been psychologically and physically weakened.
Exactly.
The previous negotiations, it shows that the bandits, those who engaged in banditry in the north, are negotiating from a position of power, which should not be. So if they are going to engage in any dialogue now, the government must be the people, they said those who that will determine the pace of the negotiation. We will know we can't do that. So we can't do that. That is they are not negotiating from the position of power, and they must weaken them, physically, psychologically, so that they too will be begging for it. And if you see the way they can able to maintain, the other time, the tempo was really high. This foreign that we are talking, it's not like going from here to get to. It's more than going to here to Lagos. To go in Akure. It's very terrible. It's a very vast land. You know what I'm saying? And there is high hills, everything, rock that is as big as this, and that you can sleep there, you can do anything. So what I'm saying in essence is that we cannot rule out issue of negotiation, but they must have been wicked. You know what I'm saying? That the remnant, it will be very easy. And when you do that, it's just when somebody is recruited into the military, the police, there's anything, there should be periodic vetting of the officers so that you will know when officer is living beyond this, income, so that you'll be able to be able to detect ask questions.
Yes.
So the same thing, all those people, they should have the means to be monitoring them. Many of them, after something, they go back to the bush again. You get what I'm saying? After they have been given employment, they furnish their colleagues in the bush with reasonable information.
Yes. Briefly now, before we go, time is not on our side. If you were to advise government today, I want to just ask both of you, if you were to advise government, what would you propose as the most effective, balanced, and realistic approach to ending banditry? Dialogue, force, or a hybrid model with community-driven solutions. Group captain.
You see, security is not all kinetic, like I said. There is no kinetic. It must work hand in hand. If you have to negotiate at all, you must negotiate from position of strength. Just like my colleague said, the bandits must have been properly subdued. Let the bandits themselves beg for negotiation. Not that you will be negotiating from what angle? As the military or the security forces are combating them, the bandits too, they are getting weakened. We don't even know their population, whether they are even more than the security agencies put together or not. Because in the north, there's vast army of the joblessness, or of the jobless people and Nigerians. Vast army that a waiting army to be recruited. So if the government will do it, firstly, our intelligence gathering must be up and doing. We must know all their hideouts. But like I said, before you even start doing anything, what have you done to the sponsors? Have we asked questions who brought them in and why did they bring them in? What is their objective? What is their objective? Their sponsors will be in the negotiations table. Their sponsors, look, let me tell you, I've been in the secret service. You will silence them, ping, secretly. Every country will do that. Nobody knows what is happening in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Yes.
That
prison facility.
And America is handling that. Nobody will tell you that this is human rights or whatever. If you have to follow the law all the time, when people are dying, things will spoil. What I'm saying is that there are certain things you do purely for security purposes.
Yes.
Secretly.
Yes. Barrister,
well,
briefly.
Well, one of the major things that the Nigerian government should embrace is community policing, state policing. Because one, this thing starts from community, from village to town to city. So I don't know, with Nigerian populations and the geographical area, it is high time our constitution is amended. The way we are talking about Amatekun, yes, there is not, if Amatekun is equipped, yes, I'm saying, properly. No, that is, it have the connotation of community and state policing. You know what I'm saying? So I will encourage the government to establish, without any delay, the issue of state policing. And lastly, I allow my brother that the intelligence gathering and timely intelligence dissemination is very, very important and vital to the weakening or elimination of banditry.
Yes. That goes to the point that if you see something, say something. Let the security agents know.
And please, if I may have to come in, why have we delayed on community policing?
Well,
why have we delayed? These things have been mentioned time and time over.
Yes, well, I believe that something is being done.
The other time when there is this massacre in Jos, and the president went there, I saw the extent of in fact, state police is no negotiation. It's a must. But the day you just see the issue of Nigeria at times, it's a delay.
The thing is, the politicians will talk just for people to hear, and they go to sit down.
Yes.
Implementation call.
That is the problem. Yes, the program has been Matters Arising on BCOS television, right here in the city of Ibadan, and we've been talking about insecurity. Yes, we have seen the effects of what is happening and what has been happening, talking about this Boko Haram terrorists, banditry, yes, in the past, and its effects on the people, on the nation. People are saying government should negotiate. Government is even negotiating already. Is dialogue, yes, with bandits the panacea to reducing this menace? I've been talking with Group Captain Oladele Olasope, retired and the security consultant. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you, please.
And Fatah Akisomi Esquire is a legal practitioner and retired intelligence officer. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you, sir.
And next week we'll come your way again with another edition of Matters Arising. Yes, I want to thank my producer, Yemi Alao, assistant producer, Mutiu Ogunwale, supervising producer, Bumi Udemi, and of course my executive producer, Jotun Olaito. And yes, my name is Bimbo Akombi. Join me again next week Tuesday on another edition of the program. Good afternoon.